Hi everybody, it's Ariel again. This is 2 days in a row. That's a record for me. Okay, I have a confession. I was thinking about it this morning and I think about how amazing everybody is in this group and they're doing such a good job with meal prepping and eating their healthy carbs, fats, and protein and balancing everything out. And then I was sitting there having this ginormous green smoothie and literally eating 2 cups of blueberries and 1/4 cup of almonds and sprinkling with a bunch of coconut flakes, and I thought, my challengers have no idea how I eat myself. And I feel like it's really important for you to understand that eating healthy does not have to be hard, and you do not ever have to feel like you are starving. And that's one of the big issues why people have such a hard time trying to eat clean, because they think they have to eat these tiny little meals all day long, and it takes your whole day just to meal prep it. And then you have these tiny little containers, and to be honest, I hate meal prepping. I never meal prep. I hate eating out of the little glassware. I hate eating microwave food. I hate just making this amazing, delicious meal and then putting it into little glass Tupperware and then eating it later. I feel like it's a crime to reheat that glorious meal. So I just felt like I needed to be honest with you, because there is an easier way to lose fat and to feel good about yourself and feel like you're in control. Another big issue with meal prepping or just eating these small meals is that you feel like you're a slave to always eating those small meals, and you feel like you're constantly thinking about it because you're never really that satisfied. You may eat your meal and think, oh my gosh, now I have to wait 2 to 3 hours because I just had that meal, but you're still hungry and you want more right then. The thing is, with myself, if I'm still hungry, I'm going to eat. I will definitely get a second serving. If I'm eating healthy foods, I don't care if I'm eating more carbs and protein. Of course, as a diabetic, I have to measure my carbohydrates, but if I'm eating healthy foods and I'm listening to my body, I never, ever, ever count calories. I don't worry about the exact macros of what I'm eating. All I think about is I'm eating foods that are unprocessed or foods that are pretty healthy. You know, you don't have to be perfect at all. I'm eating a protein at my meal, and I'm eating foods that are satisfying so that when I eat this, I feel good and I feel stuffed. So literally, I had this humongous breakfast, and I thought, everyone needs to know that you can eat until you are satisfied, but you just have to have certain parameters. So with myself, I have been working with intermittent fasting for I'd say about 5 months. And I was a skeptic at first, because everywhere you go, you always see, oh, you have to eat breakfast. Breakfast is how you jumpstart your metabolism. Breakfast makes you or helps you lose weight. The thing is, that's not true. Your body breaks down calories when they're there. And so you can eat all of your calories in one big ginormous meal, or you can spread them out throughout the day. What matters the most is the total amount of calories you eat. The thing is, people think, oh no, well, if I have this huge influx of calories at one time, then my body's just going to take all of that and store it as fat. Actually, what happens is, when you eat these small meals, you are constantly burning the food that you have in your body. But when you do intermittent fasting, there's different methods to doing it, but my favorite method is to keep my eating window to 8 to 10 hours a day. And I'm fasting the majority of the time as I'm sleeping, so I don't even feel like I'm fasting. So honestly, all I do is I skip breakfast, and then I work out, and then about 45 minutes to an hour max, I try to eat my first meal after that big workout. And this is effective because when your body doesn't have those constant carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, your body has to be thrifty with where it gets its energy to fuel. and especially if you're doing a workout once you've been fasting for that long. So when you're fasting, your body is pulling from your fat storages in order to get fuel for your daily activity or for your workout. And so that's why intermittent fasting can be actually more effective for losing fat specifically than eating small meals all day. Because as you eat small meals all day, your body is going to be constantly burning those small meals. But when you do fasting, your body's going to go through your meal, and then after about 10 hours of fasting, your body has to use your fat for fuel. So if you're fasting for about 14 to 16 hours, because you have a 8 to 10 hour window when you do eat food, then your body is going to dip into fat storages in order to fuel your body. So that's why it's going to help you with better fat loss. But the thing is, when you scrunch down how much time you have in the kitchen eating food, you actually get to eat bigger meals, and so you don't feel deprived. And so, like I said, I eat between, honestly, I start eating around 11:10 every day, and I try to cut off the kitchen around 8. So that's a little bit over 10 hours. I am nursing right now, so my calories are up, but because I am cramming all of those calories within a smaller time frame, I actually get to eat more meals, and I feel so much more satisfied. As I was eating, last night I was making chicken fajitas with my husband. My husband had 2 little corn tortillas and probably 2 to 3 ounces of chicken, had the avocado, the peppers. I had 4. And the thing is, that happens all the time. I out-eat my husband all the time. But I eat within that 10-hour window. And 10 hours, that's a pretty long time. And you can definitely, depending on what your needs are and depending on you specifically, you can scrunch that down to 6 hours, you can do 8 hours, or you can do 10 hours. For men, there can be added benefits to scrunching your eating time frame to about 4 to 6 hours, but for women, you can stretch that out. And so when I am eating during the 8 to 10 hours, I eat whole foods that are good for me, but I eat as much as I want. Well, I eat until I am satisfied, but I am very satisfied, and I always make sure I have a protein, and I always add a fat, so then I feel more satisfied. So, to tell you a little bit about myself too, I always weighed about 155. I had all of these weird ideas in my head that you have to be really good, you have to eat really clean, and that's the only way you can ever get results. And I would run for hours, and I'd spend so much time, and I'd waste all this time too, and then I would never look more fit. I'd just stay the same. So another issue with just doing the same exercise and running so often is that your body gets used to it, and your body actually goes through adaptive thermogenesis, and it gets accustomed to eating a certain amount of calories, and it gets used to you doing the same workout. So you may be busting your butt and running every day, but if you do that every day and do the same workout, your body's going to say, oh, okay, well, Diane's going to run 3 miles and she's going to burn about 300 calories. We know that's going to happen. We're just going to account for it already. So you're not seeing any change. And so that's why it's so important to mix things up, to do like a good HIIT workout, to add sprints every once in a while. But the thing is, you have to make it work for you and work for your body. And so you might have Amanda, who may have sprints at 10 miles per hour, and she has a little recovery period around 4, but then you might have Jeananne, and she has to do her sprints around 4.5. So you just make it work for you and just make it challenging for your circumstances. I love sprints because you can get them done within 10 minutes and you're done, and it's an effective way to burn fat for the rest of the day. So I always make sure that I get sprints in about 2 to 3 times a week. But I've been thinking, and I want to help a lot of people, and I want you to feel like you have a healthy relationship with food. I don't want you to ever feel like you're a slave to counting calories, to making your meals, doing meal prep constantly. I want you to feel like you are satisfied with what you're eating and that you feel more confident with yourself. And that's why I've been thinking that maybe, or I want to do this, I want to create a mastermind group where I have enrollment open for, I don't know, this is just all ideas, but I'm thinking I'll start it next month, and I will do a nutrition assessment with all of my members at the beginning of the week to make sure that I know your needs, I know what your fitness level is, I know what kind of protein, carbs, fats that you need, and then I want to give you exactly what you need, tell you what your macros and your calories are so that you know about them, but then I want to teach you how to accomplish and eat whole meals without ever having to count calories, without ever having to deprive yourself and going on extremely low carbs. I don't ever want you to do that. And I want to help you so that you have this balanced relationship with food and you feel like you're in control. Another awesome thing about intermittent fasting is that you don't have to be in the kitchen all day long. So especially when you have kids or a hungry husband, you feel like you're constantly cooking. You feel like you make this breakfast and then an hour later, after you actually have it cleaned up, then you have to cook again. So I want to teach you how you can save time, how you can eat full meals, how you can feel satisfied, how you can do workouts that take less time but are actually more effective for you. And I want you to just be more confident with yourself and feel better about where you're at. So with myself, like I said, I always weighed around 155 and I worked out so hard. Well, I'd run so often and I felt like I was eating pretty clean. I had all these, theories and ideas in my head what was clean eating. But now that I've switched to intermittent fasting, and like I said, I keep to just I keep my eating within a 10-hour window, which is still a pretty long time to be honest. And I make sure I get effective workouts in that don't take all day. I feel like I save time, I feel like I have a much better relationship with food, and I feel like I'm really satisfied. And for those that may have any kind of blood sugar intolerances or issues with or if you have diabetes, intermittent fasting has actually helped my diabetes, because when you work out after eating a meal, your blood sugar, your body uses the sugar in your bloodstream and takes that into your cells. So it causes you to have a severe low when you're working out. So even if you're not diabetic, you may have felt a severe drop in your blood sugar, felt really, really sick after doing a hard workout because you ate beforehand. So I just want to know your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me if this kind of mastermind group would be something you'd be interested in, if you want to learn how to eat filling meals and feel satisfied and not have to ever meal prep or how to learn to never count your calories again, and how to do exercises that work for you specifically, because I'll work with you one-on-one too, but I also want to have weekly check-ins where I'll do a Facebook Live group once a week. But then after that, we'll have daily check-ins, and I'll see how everybody is doing. I'll see where your struggles are, and maybe if you have a question. And I just want to be there, and I want to be there as you do a transformation. So those are my thoughts. I felt like I had to get that off my chest. Honestly, I'm probably going to be hungry in about an hour, and I'm going to eat something delicious because I know what my body needs, and I know if I get that protein in, and I know if I add a fruit for a carbohydrate, then I'm going to be satisfied. And I always add a healthy fat so that you can stay satisfied. Okay, well, hopefully you found that helpful, and I see that Samantha and Jessica are in. Hi, you guys. I hope all of you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.